bit for Anglo-French relations.
Just tell her that we're really sorry, all right?
Okay.
You can't go in.
Très désolé, tu ne peux pas entrer dans la boîte.
All right. Va-va-vous.
That's all to come on tonight's programme. It used to be that heavy partying was kept for the weekend, but in recent years the difference between a weeknight and a weekend night has become blurred, especially when drinks involved. Tonight we're out with the West Yorkshire police as they deal with a street fight sparked by booze. But when the police get caught in the middle and the attention turns on them, it looks like things could get out of control. Will the threat of being hit with CS spray calm the drinkers down? Duncan Wood takes up the story.
It's Thursday night in Halifax, and although most people have work the next morning, the pubs and clubs are already busy. With 47 licensed premises in the town centre, competition between them is fierce, and Thursday is a big night for promotions, especially cheap deals on drinks. But being busy in the bars and clubs also means more work for Halifax police.
We'll get the briefing out at way first.
He was confronted by two young lads who blocked his path. He said he felt scared, so he swung at them with his bag of Chinese.
As we all know, we have had the serious sexual offences, and we can just keep a patrol high profile on the streets and see if we can stop these people getting drunk, getting assaulted.
The door staff says we're not letting them in because we think they're underage. She was completely drunk.
By the way, thanks for your efforts last night, and let's see if we can do as good a job today. OK? Cheers.
On a typical night, the town centre attracts thousands of revellers from all over the north, and tonight PC Safe Khan and Angie Barr are responsible for patrolling the town centre.
We're mobile patrol. We're always in a marked vehicle, at least 2, if not 4 of us. We focus on the drinkers that are in the town centre. I think people want to socialise, and that's great, but there's a minority of people who, for some reason, either can't handle the large quantity of drinks that they consume, and others have ill intentions when they come out, and drink seems to fuel that ill intention.
1 in 5 violent assaults happens in the town centre. Here, 2 men are spotted fighting.
Grab the one with the white shirt. Him here, the one with the white shirt.
Don't get hold of me! Get off me! Now! Get off me! Do you want me to spray you with CS? Well then keep
What are you
your
doing? Just move
hands
away.
off of me!
Move away.
I want you!
Move away.
I want
Just
you
move away.
here. Get
Move away.
here! Get here!
Listen. Please can. Stand up. Move away. Move away.
Just stand there!
Move away. Move away. Move away.
All of you, move away!
Move
Else
away.
I'm gonna spray you!
Move away.
Move!
Move away.
Move! You're under arrest! Go away!
Calm down. Calm down. Calm down.
Safe! Gas! Safe, I'm gonna spray you!
Move away. Move. Just hold. Spray.
CS gas is used as a last resort for people resisting arrest.
It can be quite daunting when you turn up when they're all coming out and you're told to come to a fight.
On your stomach.
It's just full of bodies and there's just you and your colleague.
4034. Yeah, we're on by jumping jacks. Can we have assistance, please?
Up again. Stand up.
She's been fighting.
Stand up.
And you've
Stand
been obstructing us. Now you can be arrested for obstructing, please.
Move away from me.
Get off him! Move away!
I've done fuck all wrong.
You're getting hold of someone that's under arrest. Stay
This way,
back.
this way!
Get
To the
back.
van! To the van!
No, it's not funny. Get back. Go back.
Up!
Taken to the cells, he was charged with a public order offence. But violence isn't the only result of the binge drinking culture. In the last 12 months, there have been 16 reported rapes, all linked to drinking in the town centre. 2 of these were male, and in 5 cases the victims were girls aged 16 or under.
They had drunk beyond their capability and ended up doing acts with people that I don't think they would have done in their normal everyday life. They would leave with people they wouldn't normally leave with, abandon the friends maybe, go in taxis, go for walks with people they didn't know, and end up in situations where they're not in control anymore. 6 of them were actually unconscious when some of the acts had taken place, mostly drink and drugs related.
The increase in cheap booze has attracted underage drinkers looking to get more for their money. 2 weeks ago, this 16-year-old girl was arrested for being drunk and disorderly.
Do you know why you got arrested last time? Do you know why you got arrested? Don't do it again. Just stop swearing. Stop swearing.
I'm not swearing.
You were.
You were gonna fucking leave.
There you go again, look. Stop swearing. Are you going home?
Go home.
Come on, let's see you later.
Do you want to...
Shut your mouth, man. I've been told that I'm gonna get looked up, so just walk.
Where are you going
That's
now?
what I said about 20 minutes ago. You better walk now. What are you saying to me for? Stop it. I'm a right. Now. I swear. Fucking God, man. I swear. God, better walk. I'll take her. Now. You've just grabbed hold of me.
I thought you were mates.
Fuck off me.
Oi, stop. We'll drive around and we'll just watch
Should take her home. She's a liability, that girl.
You get people who are either too young to drink, who are not experienced drinkers, or those that are perhaps a bit older that drink beyond their capabilities. And this leads into an inability to realise that they're in some sort of danger. In one case, the person who was offended against was actually frog marched between 2 people, and she was just not in a state to know what was happening to her.
She's exciting now.
Go on then.
This time the police feel that she is better off at home than in the cells.
Listen. We'll take you home. Come on, we'll take you home.
You're not stopping the town.
I know, come on.
This is bleeding.
I know, come on, we'll take you home.
This guy, let me just go home.
We are taking you... No, we're not leaving you here.
You're not
We're giving you
staying
3.
in town.
We'll take you home. Go on in, you get. Just sitting with us.
How much have you had to drink tonight?
4473 for information. We've come across a young female who's heavily intoxicated. We're going to take her back to a hostel. We're just taking you home.
If we see you in town again, then you'll be arrested if you're behaving like this.
You know what I mean?
If you're saying to us we take you then, you're going to walk back out and you're being drunk and disorderly, we're going to have to take you to the police station.
You don't behave like this normally when you're not drunk, do you? You weren't like this last week. You should just try to be quiet and save your voice. Grow up. If you think you're growing up enough to drink, then act like it.
Angie, just keep it there for a second. I'm just going to have a word with staff, all right?
Do you want to swear at me a little bit more? Come on, you haven't sworn enough, have you, yet?
Just step out. Right. Oh, no, she's walking. Come on.
I am.
Oh, give it a rest.
I've been arrested.
You haven't been arrested.
I just want to go on bed.
I know what? If you cooperate with him, okay, you'll be fine.
No, I'm genuinely not sorry. They brought me on for no reason. It's just not fair at all, I swear.
Will you ensure that she stays indoors?
Right.
Can you do that?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah. If there's any problems, do you want us to call the station or anything?
Yeah, just call us.
Right.
Will you stay indoors?
Yeah, just call us if she does all wrong. See ya! Bye! Love you loads and that. Yeah, see ya, fuck
not even a thank you for saving her the bus fare home. Join us again for more policing on the streets after this short break. Welcome back. Nearly half of all violent crimes are linked to alcohol. That's according to the British Crime Survey. But the impact of the change in pub opening hours seems to suggest that the predictions of murder and mayhem, which we were all warned about before the licensing laws changed, have not materialised. That's not to say, though, we're anywhere near a cafe culture in Britain's late-night city centres.
One of the advantages of being on high visibility patrol is that people notice us there, and at the same time, if somebody needs our assistance, they can call out to us. We also will keep an eye out for people in the town centre who appear vulnerable, so we've got to make sure that we're there for them as much as we can.
Just let anybody in. That's good, that's nice to see, because we've seen doormen here stopping people and asking for passports and everything just to check the ID, and that's what it's all about, aren't we?
The police work closely with door staff at the pubs and clubs to keep underage drinkers at bay. On this occasion, visiting French students without ID were turned away.
Je m'appelle PC Cam. But why you lot brought any IDs?
I don't bring no, because I've never been asked before.
They do look young. If I was working on doors, I'd say exactly the same. And you can see from their point of view, can't you? Are you all right with English, you two? Can you speak English?
Je pense que vous êtes trop jeune. So.
Do you want to explain why they're being knocked back? It's because they look really young.
Vous regardez très jeune. Ne pas parce que vous êtes très jeune.
I know you're 18, but you look young.
This girl looks you look very young.
You look... how did you... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4... What's 15, 16?
16.
17. I know, but you look decent. That's why. Can you do a bit of a mix in the decks?
Il dit ce n'est pas bien parce que c'est votre première fois en Angleterre et parce que vous ne savez pas l'Angleterre. C'est pas bien pour vous de n'être pas accepté dans les boîtes de nuit.
But you have to understand why they're doing it because of the license.
Tu dois comprendre pourquoi il le fait.
I knew what's your name.
She's good, you got to admit, haven't you?
Yeah.
Just tell her that we're really sorry, all right?
Okay.
You can't go in.
Il est très désolé. Tu ne peux pas entrer dans la boîte.
All right. Va-va-vous. Let's get out of here, come on.
By 11 p.m, the pubs are kicking out in Halifax and the revellers are kicking off. PC Safe Khan and Angie Barr are called to a fight.
This fence has been assaulted. Is that bottle overhead?
Right, what we'll do, because although you're asking us to let her go, an offence has taken place. Because obviously she has assaulted you. Thank you.
As he's tried to get them out of the club, the females hit him over the head with a bottle of Smirnoff Ice. Although his boss has rung us to say there's been an assault, the complainant doesn't want to make a complaint. He says he can't go to hospital because if he ain't home on time at 1 o'clock, his wife will divorce him.
I think that the cheap drinks phenomenon that's been happening in the town centre leads people to spend the money and to drink as much as possible.
Nightclubs have always had promotions on to attract people into their club. It's a busy town and there's a lot of nightclubs. And the good thing is that we're all doing these promotions at the moment and it is actually attracting people into the whole of the town, which is good for business.
I can't see how anybody can say that to sell drinks at 50 pence is going to make them any profit or does anybody any good. Some of the young lads, they've spent the £2.50 and the bars, their oyster the whole night. They're going to drink until they are poor.
Is she puking?
I need to see if she's all right.
Is he all right there?
Yes, she's a bit too much for you.
Oh no, are you being sick?
Yeah. You're part of the group, bro?
Yeah.
When you get into a taxi?
Yeah, it's all right. We'll see you.
All right, cool.
There will be a very small percentage of people that maybe will abuse the system. But if the club or pub is run right, then it shouldn't happen. Once somebody starts to look like they're getting drunk to the point of wobbling and falling over or even slurring the words, that's the time when you say, sorry, I think you've had enough, and even ask them to leave.
This girl has been ejected from his nightclub where they have been selling drinks for 50 pence.
We were just dealing with an incident outside at the Acapulco.
She's being ejected.
I thought you said you were going to talk to me. Look. Right, listen, you need to stop swearing. Because if you swear and shout, look at me.
They're laughing, look, they're laughing.
Listen, if you're carrying, I'm going to arrest you. Stop.
Arrest me then.
Stop.
Arrest me
Stop,
then.
listen, stop. All right, just stop. I don't want to. I just want you. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to cause any... If I was here to cause any problems, we wouldn't be talking to you, would it?
There's absolutely no proof whatsoever to say that there is binge drinking. How long are you responsible for somebody? From them leaving the town centre to the outskirts of Halifax to the next day?
All I do is enjoy my life.
Right.
Look, they're laughing! Why are you laughing? I've come to your nightclub and paid your
Simon,
nightclub.
just turn the other way for a second.
Why are you laughing?
Just...
I've had it all
Listen,
my life.
stop. You're going to get arrested.
Right.
Stop.
Fucking bail me up!
Come on.
Bail me up! Hey, I can handle a man beating me up. That's all I've had all my fucking life. Hey, yeah.
Look at me. You're under arrest for a Section 5 public order, all right? I'm going to caution you that you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you don't mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence.
Right, fine.
I'm just going to double lock these so they don't tighten up.
All right. Sorry. I'm just something done. I am fired or nothing.
There you go.
I'm fired.
Sit yourself down there for us. Rashid, what's happened with her?
She was drunk, and Gary told me to have a word with her, so I tried to calm down.
Yeah.
She started going to...
She later went to court and was bound over to keep the peace for a year.
I think there's been a feeling in the town, in some of the licensees, that if I can make a profit and sell as much beer as I possibly can, then when they leave my premises, it's nothing to do with me. We all have a responsibility. There are parental responsibilities in here. The police are part of that responsibility. The licensing trade themselves have a huge responsibility. After all, they're the people that are selling the drink.
Do you know you're committing an offence? Because there's a bylaw in Halifax. So there's two things you can do. You can either pour it down the gutter for us. No, you can't drink it. If you drink it, you commit another offence. All right. So let's find a gutter for you. Come over here.
Don't pour it down the gutter now, can you?
Yeah, I mean... Don't be swearing. Just pour it down there for the young lad.
Cheers.
Thank you. And what are you going to do with the glass? I don't want it. Put it in there, put it in the bin. I'll just make a note that I've spoken to you, all right? Do you know you're underage?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much have you had to drink?
About 7 pints, right?
And how many pills have you had?
I ain't had no pills.
No.
I don't check no,
Here, mate, you better tell if he's had a
we're not. You underestimate. I don't check.
Yeah, apprentice plumbers. We're not
right.
like that.
How are you getting home?
Walking.
All right, okay. Are you guys going now?
Yeah, we're going to get a taxi.
All right, look after yourselves, all right? Piece you can.
Piece you can.
Yeah. All right, look after yourself, all right?
No, get a taxi, dickhead.
Yeah, we'll get a taxi.
All right. Angie, we need to be taking this glass back to the cells.
Jamie.
With their prisoners safely locked up, Safe and Angie are back in town in time for the nightclubs to close.
Oh, fight there. Fight, give me...
Am I running over, sir?
Yeah.
There you go, you see.
Get off that.
Get off.
Get off.
One-on-one, yeah.
Which one did it? Which
Not
one's...
fucking getting trapped by 4 of you.
Stand here.
Wait.
One-on-one.
Wait.
Fuck you,
just come over, let me have a word with you, all right?
Self-defence.
You! Wait! You! Move away over there! You! Other side of the road. As quick as you can.
What happened?
Quick as you can.
What's going on?
He's just fucking...
See yourself down there.
Started swinging for each other out here.
Angie, are you all right?
Just stand
So
there,
you
can't
fight
hear
with that
you.
lad?
No, that's the bosses. There were 5 of them trying to smack me.
All right, calm down.
They don't even know me.
Just answer me. What's your name? Your proper name?
Have I met you before?
Come over, that's why I'm fucking trying to stay out of trouble.
Just stand over here in front, all right? Just stand here in front of the van.
Just a minute.
You, don't be speaking to him. Don't be speaking to him.
speak to
You,
him.
don't be speaking to him. Not a word.
Back to me, I'll do
Not a word.
All right, listen.
You, just stay there, all right?
Yeah, I'm outside the Coliseum. Just come here. Come here.
Do you know, give this officer your details? Quick as you can, because you're involved in this incident.
I'm not involved in nothing.
Well, either you give the details,
I'll
he's
get
pointed out,
arrested.
seeing that
I'll
you've been
get arrested for
involved.
nothing.
Well, you've got a choice.
Right then, I'm going home for the
Give him some of his cig. You're not going till I finish with you. And you're getting on my nerves now.
You're right with her.
I've asked you, bud. I've asked you once. Just let us deal with it, all right? Are you going to look after him?
Of course I will. Can I shake his hand for you?
Oh, yeah, hold on. Do you know?
I don't know, trouble, you know what I mean?
I know, but we've got to make sure that we do everything properly, that's why. Just sit down, where are you going?
I know he's
Oh, jeez.
Get him over here.
No, no.
It's all right, it's all right.
Just one more 117 nominal outside the Coliseum, please.
As they calm down, the two lads decide to shake hands.
Separated at birth, these two, aren't they?
On your way.
Going home in Yorkshire, I'm good.
Angie, I'll just pull up there and I'm going to have a word at door staff just to thank them for what they did. Thanks for helping us out down here. What happened then? Were they just scrapping inside or something, or just out here?
Yeah, that dance floor. When we like 3 up to 1 out here.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I mean?
Well, they've all shook hands and best mates and hugs and kisses. Thanks anyway, all right, man. All right, so long. See you later.
As we're driving around, we're looking around, see if there's anyone who's staggering about. If there's a group of people surrounding 1 or 2 person, especially if it's young women, we need to just stop, make sure everything's all right. And until we stop and speak to them, that's the only way I think we can find out what exactly is going on.
It's now 3 a.m. and after many hours drinking, the clubbers are at their most vulnerable.
Why have you parked up down here?
It's more of a presence in the sense of a deterrent. So people who are loitering with ill intentions may be deterred from doing what they want them to do, you know. And hopefully it's a bit of a reassurance for the door staff, for the takeaway, and for the majority of decent members of the public who just want to go about their own business and go home after a good night out. Yeah, we'll just hang around here so that, you know, we can show a bit of a presence. How many you got left in there?
About 4.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, clear down.
What am I doing?
Doing his job.
I'm trying to keep Halifax a safe place.
There's always been an element that Halifax has been a good place to come for a night out, and I don't want to discourage that.
What are you doing, you? There's a time and a place for that, not here.
For jumping on someone.
For jumping on someone?
People can still come and have entertainment and enjoy themselves, but drink to a reasonable level so they're not in any personal danger.
You're just waiting for a lift or something?
No, we're for his friends.
All right, just to make sure you're all right. That's why we're here. I'll tell you what we're speaking to you about.
It's about all the underage rapes and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And then people drinking, and when they get to a state where they're vulnerable, and when they're vulnerable, people take advantage.
If they're just drunk sensibly or within their limits, then all of these victims wouldn't have been victims.
All right, you look after yourself, all right?
See you later.
See you later.
Police in Halifax, they're doing what they can to make sure the night ends safely for all. We're going to take a short break now, but when we come back, we'll be joining the bike cops of Avon and Somerset Police as one motorist tries to talk himself out of a ticket, but falls at the final hurdle.
What I'm going to do is report you for the offence of driving a motor vehicle on a road whilst not wearing a seatbelt.
And it's early days for the trainees on 2 wheels. They've still got a lot to learn.
They have to negotiate the course without touching a cone, nice and smoothly, and to make it look professional. And it's not that easy.
Hello again, you're watching Nightwatch. Before the break, we got an update on the progress of our 3 wannabe bike cops, but it's fair to say if they had report cards they'd read "must do better." Well, they do, as we'll see later. Before that, we're out and about on the trail of a white van man. Our narrator is Joanna Cross.
Nice early start this morning. It's always a good time to try and catch people, isn't there?
Avon and Somerset bike cops Billy Bond and Alex Gibb are cracking down on disqualified drivers. The suspect is a carpet fitter in a white van.
We've had some information that there's someone still out and about driving whilst disqualified. We can only act on the information that we receive on that front. And hopefully, if it's good enough information, then we'll capture them.
See, when you mentioned stakeout, I thought food. Have we had breakfast this morning?
I'm going to go and just familiarise myself with possible escape routes. Because once he may not stop, in which case we have to know where we're likely to go.
Meanwhile in Wales, bike cop Malcolm Dykes is focusing on another kind of traffic problem.
The local station at Shepton Mallet, they were having a particular problem with, for want of a better word, boy racers. You've got the car park, that's an area where they tend to congregate. If they're driving around with a very loud sound system in their car, the windows all wound down, and they're forever driving around the same area, and if it's causing a public nuisance, and we've got powers under the new Police Reform Act of 2002, which gives us a power that any vehicle being used in the commission of an offence, they can be seized. They can get their seized vehicles back, but it costs them money. £105 for the actual vehicle to be towed away, and then it's £12 a day storage. So the very minimum is going to be £105.
With 17,500 accidents on the region's roads each year, the bike cops are trying to eliminate speeding motorists.
Checking the laser speed gun, and we fire it at that wall there, which has been measured by a surveyor. And it's got to be within 0.2 of 35 metres, which it is. 34.9. Once we've done that, that's all we have to do to confirm its accuracy. That's it. We don't have to do any drive-through checks or anything like that, which is handy for us because working on our own, we can't drive through and hold the thing at the same time, obviously.
Meanwhile, back in Burnham-on-Sea, Billy and Alex have pulled in behind a van to study the details of the suspect. It's not force policy to set traps for disqualified drivers. They're patrolling the area in response to specific intelligence.
We're trying to balance up two things here at the moment. We're doing sort of general patrol, but trying to pay attention for this, this chap as well. So this is just a sort of like in our mind, a sort of road safety measure. Get this guy off the road will be a safer place.
Alex radios Billy.
What's happened is Alex talking to someone who's deals with carpets and things like that. So it's not the one we're looking for, but who knows? Hopefully he won't have given anything away. We'll wait and see.
Meanwhile, Malcolm's out looking for speeding motorists. An effective check needs a certain amount of camouflage.
I do find it an advantage to do checks where you can, in places where the direction you're checking, and it is easier with this to do it in one direction, are the only direction that can see you. Because if the vehicle's coming from behind me to see me, all you get is flashing of headlights up and down the road. No, that's fine. That does have the effect of slowing people down. And part of what we do is high visibility, so we're here to be seen. But the people that are coming towards me, the ones I'm checking, they can see me a long way off. So I don't think anybody could say I'm hiding.
A white van drives past. This could be the chance to catch the disqualified driver.
How fast do you think you were going as you came towards me? Yeah. You were getting very close to the speed where we start putting pen to paper, which I'm sure you could do without. Yeah, we could do without the complaints from the local residents and also the increased level of accidents which we've got on this road at the moment.
Okay, thank you, mate.
which is why I'm here.
Yeah.
Is it a regular route for you?
Yes, it is. I'm a crocodile, so I'll go all over.
Well, please bear in mind, because when you're along this road again, you may bump into me. Or any other road in the area.
It's rush hour, and traffic's beginning to slow.
I think it's time to move elsewhere.
The white van is not the disqualified driver, but Billy spots a possible offence.
He had no tax on it, you know, allegedly he's had it stolen, so we're taking some details and we'll report the facts, you know, to the tax people. That, a little bit of common sense, you know, dictates that. Carpet fitter, white van, wrong man. Nearly. You get some highs and lows, and if we happen to sort of pick this one off, you know, it'll be very satisfying. And if we don't catch him, he'll get the message one way or other.
It's day 2 of the rider training programme.
They have to negotiate the course without touching a cone, without putting the foot down, and nice and smoothly, and to make it look professional. And it's not that easy.
Instructor Robbie Downing has to turn these 3 trainees into bike cops.
And what I'll expect them to do before we leave here today is to provide a run down through the cones, slightly down the slope, another ride up through, and then one down through the slalom and back up through the slalom as well.
Early on, things don't look too promising for Mac. Mike seems to have started well, but needs to improve before the test.
It's a bit more difficult uphill than downhill. Was that just too close?
It's too quick on the approach. You've got to get the speed right. And what you cannot do is go through as if you're going to lean the bike. You have to move your arms left and right.
A nice steady engine speed with a balanced brake. So we'll have another go.
I don't know how many points I've got for cones, but it's getting there.
After just a few runs, Charlie navigates the course successfully.
Bit of a wing and a prep, but he got through.
Mac, on the other hand, is still struggling to control the bike.
Get in the right angle. Right. Not as easy as it first appears, is it? Slow it down. Right. Left. Go on. Right, at the gate. Oh, no, he's got it. As soon as you think you're going and you lose the confidence, you put your leg out.
Robbie decides to give Mac some one-to-one coaching.
You're controlling the bike by your right foot and the clutch lever. They're trying, but they're not at the situation which is acceptable at the moment. We've got to get Mac down through the cones at the moment.
Robbie decides it's time for Mac to take a break.
A 5-minute breather.
Well, I'm struggling a little bit with this one still.
Yeah,
I do feel better with the bike.
What, as a result of this?
Yeah.
Mike's increased optimism is short-lived.
Somebody give us a lift up. And again. Just let's get it on the stand, then we can put it back together again. All right. There's a lot more work to be done at this stage. Out of 10, probably Mike and Charlie, sort of 5, and Mac at the moment, who's having difficulty with it. Right, left. Probably a sort of a 3.
For Mac and all of the trainees, it's now make or break at the test.
Satisfactory standard achieved with minor inconsistencies is the level we're looking for.
Test fever.
Mike goes first.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Failure to pass this part of the course means failure overall. Mike takes out one cone on the way down through the chicane. And one on the way back. On the slalom, the run downhill is clear. But uphill, Mike stalls at the last hurdle. Will that be good enough?
Got a foot down. But overall, he's achieved what we would say at this stage is a reasonable standard for what we want.
Next up is Charlie, who's been consistently good on the slow manoeuvre course. Both slalom courses were clear, but on the chicane, test nerves hit.
I think we better have a rerun of that one.
I've done better, but test conditions, so...
Luckily for Charlie, Robbie takes into account his earlier rides. Last up is Mac.
I don't know yet, I've been struggling a little bit with it, so we'll just have to see how it goes. It's harder work than it looks.
Mac's first run up through the slalom is a bad start. But his second run is clear.
Yeah, clear.
Downhill through the chicane, Mac surprises everyone, including Robbie.
Untidy, but it's clear.
And on the final run, somehow Mac makes it through clean.
He's got away with it.
Mac's test performance gets him through to fight another day.
Raggedy.
I think Mac knows that it's not the level he'd want to be at.
I think I was getting there towards the end. I didn't kill too many cones.
The standard is very high, and I would look for their ability to increase, particularly Mac's at the moment, because he obviously realises he's got a problem, and we will be looking for a vast improvement as the week progresses.
Robbie and the trainees head back to HQ. Alex tries to contact Billy to discuss the search for the disqualified driver.
So that was all 10-7-0. Well, it was all rubbish. I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear what he was saying. It's just a case of 10-7s, repeat yourself. Basically, it's a little bit of old-fashioned jargon. We're all in status something or others nowadays, so you know, some of us didn't want to go decimal.
Heading towards Shepton Mallet, Malcolm's passed by a Ford Escort, and two passengers are not wearing seat belts. Punishment for this offence can also be dealt with at the discretion of officers. This man's attitude doesn't do him any favours.
What I'm going to do is report you for the offence of driving a motor vehicle on a road whilst not wearing a seatbelt.
Really?
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's two ways in which we can deal with it, either by summons at the local magistrate's court or by issuing a fixed penalty. The choice is up to you. Obviously, if you wish to contest the matter, it has to be dealt with at court.
Contest the matter, but I mean 50% of the people don't wear seatbelts and you haven't stopped anybody else, have you?
I've never stopped anybody else?
No, we said you haven't stopped anybody else. You've been down there stopping people coming down more than 20 miles an hour?
No.
When I came past?
No.
Well, your colleagues have.
No, I've been doing a speed check down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing well, yeah. No, I'm doing more than 20 miles an hour.
No, it's a 30 limit down there.
No, it's 20 now.
No. 20 from where I was onwards, past the school.
Yeah.
Where I was checking, I was in a 30 limit.
And I went up that road and there was steaming down that hill and I didn't see you stop anybody there. I can't believe you're going to do me for not wearing a seatbelt.
I've stopped two vehicles down there.
Yeah, right.
Who were just over the speed limit.
Yeah.
And they've been given advice.
Right. Can you give me advice? You ain't going to find me 30 odd quid for not putting this, because I've just literally forgot to put it on. I've just come from the other side of town, that's all.
What about the child in the back?
Oh.
Would you say she's adequately restrained?
Well, she was when I left, and she still was, yeah.
Yeah.
I accept that, you know, they should have a seatbelt on, but, you know, I mean, never done it before, and I just forgot to put it on. I've just taken it out to a garage to have a look at, to speak to somebody, and just forgot to put it on when I come back.
Yeah.
That's all. You know.
The man hopes he's done enough to avoid a ticket.
It's something I'm going to deal with by reporting you, which I've already done.
Obviously not.
Okay.
And as we'll see in a couple of minutes, the man doesn't do himself any favours when he accuses Malcolm of victimising him.
So you've just decided because you couldn't get anybody down there, you're going to get the next person you're sick?
You couldn't get anybody.
You actually turned round and come back,
yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, Billy is starting to regret letting our cameras follow his every move, especially when his bike conks out on a call.
Oh, embarrassing. Tell you what.
Welcome back. In a moment, we return to the escort driver who's trying to talk himself out of getting a ticket. And later, our cops are called to deal with a rider whose bike has no lights. But will a loophole in the law leave the boys in blue with red faces? First, though, it's pat on the back time.
Right then, I've got to go and find Alec now, wherever he's got to. I don't mind if we end up arresting them. That's a job well done in one way. Obviously, the other parts to it is that, you know, hopefully there'll be very little crime happening around here when they see see two policemen kicking around on these patrol bikes.
And there'll be a few people taxing their cars today, because we caught one or two already. And you'll be surprised, the little post office that was sat outside, there'll be people running in there today with their tax forms to get them paid. So it helps.
The disqualified driver operation may be over, but Malcolm is still dealing with the escort driver.
You could debate this all day. What I'm going to do...
Well, we're not debating it, you're telling me, so it's not a debate, is it?
Okay.
Because I think you're just victimising me. You know?
When you say victimising...
People have you done for seatbelts today?
None.
None, exactly.
No.
That's right. And 50,
when you say victimising...
40-odd% of people don't wear a seatbelt, and you're doing...
Yeah. But I haven't been on duty that long.
Well, no, sorry.
Can I say, when you say victimising...
Yeah.
That makes...
That means because you've only managed to stop 2 people.
No,
now, so you've got to make a quota up.
That makes me think that I'm victimising you, but I've never met you before.
No, I know. But you've just decided because you couldn't get anybody down there, you're going to get the next person you see.
You couldn't get anybody?
You actually turned around and come back to get me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your job. Carry on. All right.
What about, would you like me to report you for the young girl in the back as well?
Accepting the £30 fine, the man finally gives up.
Now, those categories, what would you class yourself as?
Victim? No, it's not on there. W1.
W1. Yeah, worry about this. Okay. Right. Take care.
Having finally dealt with the motorist, Malcolm can concentrate on his real target for the day. Meanwhile, ravenous after a long stakeout, Billy and Alex discuss their next move over donuts. Alex realises he needs some stationery supplies from HQ.
By appointment only, I think it is.
Securest office, I think, in the whole...
Apart from the dinner ladies, the storeman is almost the hardest person to get past, yeah?
Just as hard as the armoury. Yeah. You'll have to wait for the van in 3 weeks. Yes, but I'm here now. You'll have to wait for the van in 3 weeks. Go away.
That's only because he's not liked, you see, you know.
Billy's lunch is interrupted by a 999 call.
Single crude unit has gone to a burglary, or perhaps a burglary in progress.
Down off
Stoddens
Road.
Yeah.
If you go along... See you later, Billy. All right, mate.
But just a few hundred yards down the road, disaster strikes.
Broken clutch cable.
Luckily, the suspected burglary turns out to be a false alarm.
Vehicle defect. I'm at Edithmead, just off junction 22. Fortunately, it didn't fall off. Well-controlled landing, I thought.
Billy picks up the remains of his clutch cable from the middle of the road.
You see, this is all about planning, yeah? Never plan anything, because this is what happens.
Meanwhile, Malcolm is following a boy racer through Shepton Mallet. Although he couldn't get an accurate speed reading, the exhaust sounds highly illegal. If he's been stopped before, Malcolm has the power to seize the vehicle.
Right. Have you got any documents with you at the moment, please? As a vehicle examiner, I've got the ability to also issue prohibitions. Okay. And if we feel that the exhaust is excessively noisy, we can report the user for that.
The owner of the gold car suggests Malcolm should be stopping real boy racers, like the driver of the red Volkswagen. There may be honour amongst thieves.
What makes him different to you, then?
But not, it would seem, amongst boy racers.
Have a word in a moment, please.
Billy is still stuck at the roundabout.
Broken bike boy, yes. 1100 BMW. I've got the little end bit for it, so I've managed to recover it. I don't know how far down the cable it's broken. Stand here and look important. That's okay, I'll do that. Right. Bye for now. It's not embarrassing. Of course it's embarrassing. Anyway, gives me a splendid opportunity to check for no tax lists and things.
Billy makes the most of his time at the roadside. Meanwhile, Malcolm deals with the driver of the red car, who seems to be a bit nervous.
You had your stereo up loud, didn't you?
Yeah, the button's broken, but it's got to go back tomorrow.
That doesn't make it illegal, I'm afraid. Oh, my Lord.
Sorry, sir.
You can't have red lights showing to the front.
Okay.
Okay? They could be blue.
Right.
But you can't have red lights showing to the front.
Okay, yeah.
Malcolm's
Excuse me,
boy
mate.
racer crackdown will have to wait.
Hello?
Her vehicle examiner is needed for a more pressing
thanks.
matter.
They've stopped a bike that needs might need a prohibition on it. It's got no lights, basically, including brake lights. It's a bit of a shed. I'm quite happy to come over and do it, and I'd have to give him immediate, and I wouldn't be able to give him an exemption to travel. Sadly, vehicle examiners are few and far between in the force, so I'm fairly close to them. 20 minutes travelling time, 20 minutes, half an hour, so I'll whiz over and issue the prohibition.
As I smile at you. Yeah. It's broken clutch cable on it.
Well, he's not going to fix it. It's just a case of quick recovery. Take it back down to Taunton Workshops, where the garage manager will be happy because I managed to destroy 2 bikes in the case of about 3 days.
You hold.
Okay, take me home. Oh, very embarrassing. Tell you what.
It's dark by the time Malcolm arrives to examine the motorbike. The modified bike has no lights, including no brake light, but there may be a loophole, which means Malcolm can't prohibit the bike from travelling during the day.
Reflectors are required to be fitted to vehicles only used on roads between sunrise and sunset.
It was daylight when the bike was stopped, so no offence has been committed.
It's a stupid piece of legislation, to be honest, I think.
For Malcolm, it was a wasted journey. And with no lights, the unfortunate rider now has to wait for a friend with a trailer to take the bike home.
That'll be one unhappy biker. And that brings us to the end of another Night Watch. I hope you'll join us again soon. From me and everyone on the team, bye for now.